Okay, before we get into today's video, I just want to tell you that there are spoilers for Transformers Prime. If you haven't watched this series, please go watch it. I advise you to do so. If not, then I don't know what to tell you. Anyways, let's get to the video. Okay, in case you haven't noticed, I am a huge fan of Transformers. I had the toys, played the games, watched the stop motion animations, and watched the movies when I was 13. The TV shows made me love the franchise a little bit more. I loved Transformers animated at a young age. I also watched some of the G1 series, but the show I loved the most was Transformers Prime. Not only was it a show for newer fans of the franchise, but for older fans as well. And it was the show that did Transformers justice. This show redefined my childhood when I was younger, and I used to watch this show all the time with my dad and sister when I was younger. Mostly because the death and violence didn't somehow traumatize me at a young age. Man, my autistic brain is insane. In this video, we will be looking at one of the best Transformers shows to date. And that show is Transformers Prime. Okay, I don't even know where to begin, so I'm just gonna start with what I want to start with, like the plot. So the series is about an ongoing war between the Autobots, led by Optimus Prime, and the Decepticons, led by Megatron. But the rest of the series is set on Earth, and it follows the Autobots as they team up with human allies to protect the planet from the destruction of the Decepticons. You know what? I think the plot is really good. It makes sense enough for young and older viewers to understand what's happening. It is about some devices like the movies, but unlike the movies, they have one goal. That goal is to save Cybertron. The Forge of Solus Prime was the way to repair the Omega Lock to save Cybertron, but that was destroyed. Same with the Omega Keys. These devices only have one purpose, which makes saving Cybertron make a lot more sense. The thing that the movies do is that they just have an object that they need to find and have multiple purposes, which makes it very confusing for people to even understand what's happening. Okay, maybe two of them had like a purpose of saving Cybertron, but you kind of know what I'm getting, right? I'm pretty sure you don't. Prime makes it make sense. So I like the entire story overall. It's way better than the movies, so I prefer the show instead of the Bayverse. I can't believe that was almost a cinematic universe. That would have been terrible. The thing that made me really love Transformers Prime in the first place was the animation and the characters. The animation looks really good, but even though I think its budget is a little lower, but it still manages to maintain the characters' expressions and the fast-paced action throughout the series. We'll get to that later. It looks like it was on a higher budget, but I did hear the show had a lower budget. But whatever, the animation is nice and it makes the environments around them look pretty good. Also, another thing that I want to point out is the designs, because they look so good. It's like the designs from the movies, but done way better. They're easier to look at, unlike the movies where their faces are cluttered and grayed out. I know that some people really don't like the designs because they look too human, but I don't mind them. I think they look fine. The characters in this show are the best. The Autobots have actual traits and are well developed. Optimus Prime's character was good. He was wise, caring, and pretty cool at times. He wants to protect his Autobots like they're his own family and plays a good father figure role for that. Ratchet is a character that I can relate to. He was a bit of a grouch and sometimes hard on himself, and I can definitely relate to him because I am like that at times. But I try to do better, and he wants to do better, but sometimes he fails. But the rest of the Autobots are pretty good. The humans are done way better in this series. I like most of the human characters. Jack is cool, Raph's a nerd, and Miko is just annoying sometimes. they get their development throughout the series. Agent Fowler is really hilarious throughout the series. And the Decepticons are treated as a threat in the show. They are something that the Autobots fear, and it raises the stakes for them. Starscream was the best part of the show, and this guy knows how to be an evil and comedic guy at the same time. So yeah, Prime knows how to do its characters justice. So let's move on to the next section. What stood out for me in Transformers Prime, it was the tone. The tone was definitely done right for older audiences to engage with, and a lighthearted tone so that younger audiences can engage with as well. The first 5 episodes set the tone of what the series is really about and what kind of show you're in for, which I really liked. Sometimes it can be a little bit silly, but it gets serious when it needs to be. Some of the episodes that I've watched are pretty dark, like Cliffjumper dying and coming back from the dead just to be killed off again. The breakdown, getting killed by Arachnid thing was kind of messed up. Mech having their boss be infused with him just came off a little creepy when I was younger. Raph almost dying gave me chills, and yeah, it's sometimes pretty dark. But it is lighthearted at times, and the tone balance itself really well if you think about it. Another thing that stood out for me in the series was the action. The action sequences are perfect. They are adrenaline filled and fast paced, and they put you on the edge of your seat every single time. It blends in well with the animation, making it even better to look at. The action scenes with the sabers were a treat to watch. I loved seeing Optimus and Megatron duke it out with these sabers because it makes it even more gripping to watch. Another good thing about the action is that I can actually tell what is happening. Alright, I'm gonna stop comparing it to the movies because it's getting repetitive at this point. The ending of the series was super good. It wraps up everything in a nice bow with a few plot holes, but who cares? In the finale of the show, I'm saying, our heroes head to the Decepticon warship to use this portal thing to restore Cybertron. But then Bumblebee dies and gets resurrected to get his voice back for some weird reason. They give some energy to Cybertron and then go back just to rebuild it. I love this finale so much. As the characters go back to Cybertron, you feel for their human partners and know they don't want to go, but they have to in order to restore their world. And yeah, I loved it. The characters are the best. The voice acting was good. I should have mentioned that. The action was better than I thought, and it was emotional. Now we're at the end. Let's get to the conclusion. I'm tired at this point. After reviewing the entire show, I would like to say that it is still good as I remember it. The action was great, the characters were amazing, the story actually made sense, and yeah, it is still good. Transformers Prime isn't for everybody, but it's still a good show for younger audiences and older fans. I don't think we needed robots in disguise, like the newer one. I don't think that was needed. That should have just stayed in the trash bin. But what do you think? Do you think that Transformers Prime is still as good as you remember it? Let me know in the comments. If you guys enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you won't miss an upload or live stream. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Polarizer out.